Hi, I'm Annie of ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. Thank you so much for joining us for week number 9 of Season 2 of Live with Annie. It is always a treat to see our regular viewers from around the world and to greet new viewers too. We know there are lots and lots of things you can be doing with this time, so thank you for setting aside time to be with us. If you've been with us over the past couple of weeks, you'll know that we've begun a series focusing on ByAnnie Bag Making Basics. We started by talking about essential tools for bag making, covering everything from sewing machines to stilettos. Last week, we showcased other helpful tools from bodkins, circle rulers, and glue sticks to seam rippers, snippers, and tube turners. Note that ByAnnie Patterns will generally list the appropriate tools needed for a project on page 1 of the pattern. You'll find them in the You Will Need section on the left side of the page. Just know that sometimes there's not space for every single tool that you might use, so we list the ones we think are most important. Remember that if you missed either of those episodes or want to watch them again, all of the episodes on Live with Annie are available online. You can watch them on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, or by going to ByAnnie.com/live. We'll put up all the links to make them easy for you to find. To thank everyone for joining us last week, we had 2 fun giveaways. Each winner received a Running with Scissors pattern and a 1-yard package of Soft and Stable. The lucky winners were Sammy Jackson Grimes and Jane DeMeester. Sammy and Jane both have confirmed their addresses, and I know Sammy's already received hers because I saw a picture on Facebook yesterday. So we can't wait to see what you both make, Sammy and Jane. I need a quick drink before we go too much further. So today we're going to continue our Bag Making Basics series with a discussion of the supplies we recommend for our projects. Just as having the right tools makes a project so much easier and more enjoyable, so too does having the right products. So before we go into individual supplies, let's take a look at the back cover of a typical ByAnnie pattern. And we're going to take a look at the supply list for this bag, which is our tools of the trade. The back cover is where you find the supply list, and this is a good one to look at because it uses a good variety of products. So here's a little tip. If you want to know what supplies are needed for a project that you want to make before you buy the pattern, or if you're at your local quilt shop and you don't have the pattern with you, you can also find the supply list on the product page for the pattern at ByAnnie.com. So all you have to do is go to the product page and then click on the tab that says Supply List. Now, at the top of that page, you're going to find a brief description of the pattern. And in the middle of the page is a table that lists all the supplies you need for the project or projects that are included in the pattern. At the bottom of the back cover, you'll find some special notes, information about the fabrics we used for the models on the front cover, and also contact information if you have questions or want to share pictures of your finished projects. So what we're going to focus on today is that table that's in the middle. And I want you to look first at the first column of the table. That lists all the supplies that you need for the projects. Any of the items that have a little star at the end are generally available at ByAnnie.com. You might also see some other symbols after certain items, such as the symbols you see there after the fabrics. These symbols will reference notes that are at the bottom, which will give you helpful information such as suitability of directional fabrics for the project or info about more efficient use of supplies. In this case, the note tells you that this pattern is suitable for directional fabrics. It also explains that if you want to add zipper pulls or an adjustable detachable carrying strap to the bag, you can find fabric requirements and instructions in our free patterns at our website. That way, when you're at the store buying your fabric, you can make sure you have sufficient fabric for everything if you want to add those extra items. At the top of the next column, you're going to find the project or size name, as well as the dimensions of the finished project. Below that, you're going to see the amount of the various supplies that are needed for that particular project or size. If the pattern includes more than one project or size, there will be a separate column for each. So as you can see, the Tools of the Trade pattern includes instructions for both a small and a large case. So let's talk now about the various supplies that are used in our patterns. We try to list these on our supply list in a consistent manner, so we're just going to start at the top and work our way down. At the top of the supply list, you'll see a list of fabrics that are needed for the project. Generally, but not always, ByAnnie projects use 3 fabrics: a main fabric, a lining fabric, and a coordinating fabric, which on this bag is the gray. Occasionally, the project may only use 2 fabrics, or we may add a 4th fabric, which we will usually call a contrasting fabric. The supply list will list notes in parentheses after each fabric that indicates where the fabrics are used in the project. We work to be as efficient as we can when we calculate fabric requirements, and we round the amount needed up to the nearest quarter yard in most cases. Note that yardage requirements are based on the assumption that you'll cut pieces as directed in the pattern and according to any cutting layouts that are in the pattern, and unless otherwise noted, that you'll be using 42-inch wide fabric. We especially like to use quilting cottons in our projects because of the wide range of colors and designs that are available. We are going to talk a lot more about choosing fabrics, mesh, fold-over, and zippers in an upcoming Live with Annie episode, so be sure to continue to join us for those. If the project requires stabilizers, those are listed next on the list. So we generally recommend that you use ByAnnie's Soft and Stable when constructing our projects. Soft and Stable is a firm but resilient foam with a soft fabric lining on each side. I have a little piece of it right here. It gives great body and shape and stability to your project and ensures that it's going to stand up and holds its shape. If you look at this ultimate travel bag here, there's nothing in this that's making it stand up other than the Soft and Stable, and you can see how nicely it stands up and holds its shape. Soft and Stable also enables you to use almost any kind of fabric for the project. Soft and Stable comes in black or in white, and it's always 58 inches wide. So we have it packaged either in a half-yard package, which measures 18 inches by 58, a 1-yard package, which measures 36 inches by 58, and a 2-yard package, which measures 72 by 58. If you make a lot of bags, or if you're a store, it also comes in a 15-yard by 58-inch roll. So as you can see on the Tools of the Trade supply list, for the small bag, it says you need 54 inches by 58 inches, or 1.5 yards. And for the large, you need 72 by 58, or 2 yards. So, but if you look to the side, you're going to see that the only SKU we list is the SKU for the 2-yard package. Because for either of those, 1 yard wouldn't be enough. We'd recommend that you buy 2 yards and have leftovers for another project. If, however, your local quilt shop carries Soft and Stable on a roll, you will know by looking at the supply list that you could get by with just 1.5 yards for the small case. So we shared lots of helpful tips about Soft and Stable, along with the story of how and why we created it way back in week 2 of season 1 of Live with Annie. So if you want more information about Soft and Stable, be sure to check that out. All right, next on the list, if the project requires any interfacing, we'll list that. And we use fusible interfacing on our projects, especially when we're doing borders. It adds body and stability. If we have pockets on the inside, facings, such as we did here where we put it over these magnets, all of those we use a fusible interfacing. They will prevent the fabric and quilting lines that are underneath from showing through. They also reduce wear and tear on the magnets that are used to close this flap. And though we usually try to include a note about where the item is used, as we did for the fabric, Sometimes there just isn't room, as is the case on this pattern. So if you look at that and you wonder where the interfacing is used, we suggest if you're in a shop, if you ask the shop owner if you can open the pattern to look, or feel free to email us for some additional information. The interfacing that we use is made by Pellon. It's their Shape Flex 101. It's 100% cotton. It's a mid-weight fusible interfacing. It comes 20 inches wide, and you're going to find that widely available at your local quilt shops or other stores that carry quilting supplies. You can also find it at our website, and we carry it in a 1-yard package as well as a 5-yard package. Again, those will be 20-inch wide pieces. The next thing on the supply list will be other miscellaneous fabric type materials. So that will include mesh, chalkboard fabric, vinyl, iron-on vinyl, and vinyl mesh. Let's run through each of those just so you can be familiar with each. So we like using ByAnnie's lightweight mesh for pockets on bags. They add some ventilation, they add some visibility, and they stretch a little bit. So on Tools of the Trade, we used mesh here on the front for a great big pocket. We also used it on this divider for some things that you can put tools in. Again, mesh gives great visibility, ventilation, and a little stretch, and it doesn't add any bulk. Mesh is color fast, it's machine washable and dryable, and it's strong enough to hold up to daily use. Our mesh comes in 14 fun colors, and we've got a little color sample pack that you can buy that shows all the color, and these are made to match our best-selling zipper colors and our fold-over elastic. So it comes packaged in a 1/2 yard package, which measures 18 inches high and 54 inches wide. We also sell it on a 15-yard roll, which again is 54 inches wide, so there's a chance your store may have it available that way as well. In some upcoming episodes, we're going to talk a lot more about mesh, how to choose colors, cut it, and more, so be sure to join us each week. We also have a handy PDF with tips for working with mesh fabric on the product page for that at ByAnnie.com. And to get to that, just click on the button on that page, and it will take you to that PDF. It's got lots of helpful tips for cutting, finishing edges, and attaching zippers. So that's mesh. I am going to move this bag out of the way for just a minute, because next we're going to talk about chalkboard fabric. If your pattern uses it, that will be listed next. Reach over and grab this. So our Grab Some Grub pattern gives the option of using chalkboard fabric instead of fabric for a border on this handy little lunch bag. It's a really perfect spot to write your name or to put a fun note to someone. And as you can see on the supply list for Grab Some Grub, the chalkboard fabric is listed as optional on the list. Our Fetch Your Sketch pattern also uses chalkboard fabric on the inside of this art portfolio. If you look at the supply list for that, though, you're going to see that it's an older pattern, it's got a different style. It doesn't even include the SKU for the product, which we tried to include on our newer patterns. But it does show that the product is available at our website. So if you go to our website, if you don't have the SKU, you can just type in the product name, such as chalkboard, and the product will come up. So that's an easy way to find something where you don't know what the SKU is. Scoot this back over here. Scoot this back over here. And let's take a look at chalkboard fabric. So it's basically a black oilcloth fabric, and it has a specially coated surface on it that makes it behave like a chalkboard. We sell it in a 16-inch high by 48-inch piece wide, and as you can see, it was great for art portfolios, for pockets, borders on projects. One of these days I want to make a placemat out of it because I think it would be fun for kids to sit and draw while they're waiting for dinner to come in the restaurant. So be sure to check out the product page for that and see the special notes that tell you how to prepare the chalkboard fabric, and you'll find that on our website. All right. For see-through windows and pockets, we use and recommend ByAnnie's Premium Clear Vinyl. This is sturdy. Let me find my piece. It's flexible and it's double polished, so it has really great clarity. A 16 gauge vinyl, it's also the perfect weight to hold up to extended use while still being easy to sew through. Our vinyl is 54 inches wide, and we package it on a roll that's 16 inches high. It has a really sturdy cardboard core in it, and that prevents wrinkles and folds. It also makes it very manageable and easy to use. So we carry it in this 16 by 54 inch size. We also carry it on a 15 yard by 54 inch roll. That roll is ideal if you make a lot of projects that use vinyl, or if you're a store and you're cutting kits and need specific sizes, because you'll have a lot less waste by cutting it off the roll. And we do have some really great videos on the vinyl product page that give more information about working with vinyl in your projects, so be sure and check those out. And we also shared a lot of tips in our week number 31 of season 1 of Live with Annie when we introduced this new product. So be sure to check that out if working with vinyl is new to you. One thing that's really nice about this new vinyl is that it has a white paper attached to it, which makes it really easy to see when you cut it and just makes it really easy to use. So the next item on the supply list for Grab Some Grub is iron-on vinyl. And we recommend using slicker iron-on laminate, which looks like this, because it lets you make your own laminated fabric. And we used it also on this set. This is our Glow and Go pattern. It's really perfect for projects like makeup wraps or toiletry bags, placemats, things that you want to be able to wipe clean. And it just fuses on. The pattern or the instructions are included on the package. They're also included on the product page on our website. And when you purchase this, you get a 17-inch high by 36-inch piece. So again, that is slicker iron-on laminate. One last little fabric type thing. Well, you're also going to find a few ByAnnie patterns that use a product called vinyl mesh. So not to be confused with vinyl or mesh, vinyl mesh is a sturdy mesh that has a vinyl coating on it. And it has an 11 by 11 mesh count, which means there are 11 holes per inch. That makes it really perfect for holding earrings, which is the main way we use it in ByAnnie patterns. And that's what we did here on this Bling It On organizer. We also used it to make little earring bars in these cute little treasures and trinkets cases. And this pattern includes instructions for 3 sizes, so you're sure to find the perfect one for the amount of jewelry you carry. So this is the smallest, here's the medium, and here's the large. And each of them has that little earring bar in the front. On the large one, I often use this as a sewing case, and I basically use that just as a divider to hold blocks and pieces behind it. So I've also seen people use the vinyl mesh to make little tote bags. There's lots of ways you can use it, or for pockets and totes and things. We carry the vinyl mesh in black, white, or red, and it's 36 inches wide and sold by the yard. So that is vinyl mesh. All right, I need a quick drink before we move on to zippers. So the next thing that you're going to find on the supply list are zippers. And we usually use these to close the bag or for pockets. And we recommend that you use number 4.5 handbag zippers from ByAnnie.com. They have an extra wide tape that makes inserting them much easier. It also ensures that your pieces are going to fit together properly. They also have extra large slides that are really easy to grab, and they have great big holes on them. So if you want to add a fabric zipper pull in them, that's easy to do. I'm just going to take this bag off the table. All right, so we carry handbag zippers in 4 sizes and styles. First, what we started with was a 24-inch single slide. Then we have 30 and 40-inch double slide, and these are both luggage style, which means the pulls kiss in the middle, so you can open your bag either direction or just one side. We also carry a product called Zippers by the Yard. Inch by inch, this is your most efficient way to buy zippers. You get 4 yards of zipper tape and 16 pulls, so they're really versatile. You can make zippers of any length and any style. And we are going to talk more about colors and using zippers in an upcoming episode of Live with Annie, but for now I want to just talk about how to figure out what you need for your project. I can tell you that the zipper section of the supply list is one area that has gone through a fair amount of change over the years. So Jake's going to put up the supply list for Treasures and Trinkets, which is a pattern that we bought, or that we wrote about 5 years ago. And as you can see on its supply list, at that time we were listing the actual lengths needed for the project and the columns for each size. But we found that customers would really get confused when they got to our website and they didn't find 7-inch, 9-inch, 11-inch, or 13-inch zippers. So we have refined our method of listing zippers, and newer patterns, such as the Tools of the Trade pattern, now list the sizes that you need over on the side in the description part of the supply list. And because more and more customers are indicating a preference for zippers by the yard, the description will also include info about the amount of zipper tape and the number of pulls you need to make the project. And then the next 2 columns will show you the sizes of zippers that ByAnnie carries, so you know what to get for your project. Let's walk through the numbers for Tools of the Trade so I can explain. So if you look at this bag, you're going to see that it uses 4 different zippers. So for the small bag, the pattern shows that you need 2 19-inch zippers for the sides. You need a 13-inch single slide zipper for the pocket on the front, and you need a 23-inch single slide zipper for this inner mesh pocket. So if you want to make all of those zippers using Zippers by the Yard, the pattern tells you you need at least 74 inches of tape and 4 pulls, and that will make all your zippers. But then when you get to the column for the small bag, you'll see that we recommend that you get 4 24-inch single slides. So if you don't want to mess with Zippers by the Yard, you just want to buy the already made zippers, 4 24 inches will do it the most efficiently and economically. All right, so that's kind of our new method of listing zipper requirements. And as with fabric, we try to be as efficient as possible when we use zippers, so you might find that your supply list calls for fewer zipper than what the project requires. So if you take a look at this Ultimate Travel Bag, you're going to see on its supply list that it uses a 28-inch double slide zipper for the top, a 10-inch single slide zipper for the front pocket, and then there's a 20-inch single slide zipper on a pocket on the inside. But if you go over to the side, you're going to see that the supply list only calls for 2 30-inch double slide zippers. So what we do is we use one for the top of the bag, we use the other and cut it to make a 10-inch zipper and a 20-inch zipper. Both of those are single slides, so you've got 2 pulls and you can do that, and the pattern includes all the instructions for doing that. If making zippers of any length and style is new to you, we highly recommend that you watch our Zippers Are Easy video series, and you can also check out week 17 of season 1 of Live with Annie. Also, we're going to talk a lot more about zippers later this month, so if you have any particular questions about them, be sure to post them in the comments so that we can cover them then. Now that we've gone through fabrics and zippers, we're ready to move on to the supplies that you need to make your handles and straps. So the next item on the list is strapping, and we use that to reinforce those. Well, I'm not finding the 1 yard roll, but so I'll show you what I have here. So strapping is available at our website in both 1-inch widths and 1.5-inch widths, and we have it packaged in various lengths. So we have 1 yard packages, we have 3 yard packages, and we have 6 yard packages. So we carry strapping in just black and white because all of our patterns that use strapping include instructions for covering the strapping with fabric to give a really custom look to your project. If you need more information about making handles and straps, be sure to check out our week 18 of Live with Annie. Also, our free carrying strap and pad pattern and the add-on video that goes with it. If you've not bought any of our free patterns or used our free patterns, what you need to do is purchase them. You don't pay anything. You do it at no charge. And then once you're done checking out, you will find them in your digital library at our website. If you need help with that, be sure and click on the add-on videos page, and it will give you a little video that walks you through all the steps to doing that. All right, the next item on the supply list then will be the hardware that you need for your project. So hardware is used to close a bag, as we did on this little grab some grub, or to make handles and straps that you can attach and detach. As with strapping, we carry hardware in 1-inch and 1.5-inch widths and in a variety of styles. So we have, let's see what all we have in here. We have D-rings, we have triangle rings, we have rectangle rings, we have sliders, and we have swivel hooks. And we have all of these in a variety of finishes. So one of our favorites, I'm surprised how often we use this, is antique brass. Another is black metal, and then the last is nickel. Some of the styles are also available in black plastic, not as many as the others. Most of our metal hardware is packaged in sets of 2 in handy little reusable cases, and the SKU that's listed on the pattern is going to refer you to these packages. We used to combine all the hardware that you'd need for a particular pattern in a set. They got overwhelming to try to manage, so those aren't available any longer except in black plastic and maybe some of our 1/2-inch hardware sets. So if you have an older pattern that lists the SKU for a set rather than the SKU for the 2-piece sets, there is a conversion chart on our website, and you can use it to ensure that you get the right pieces for your project. So to find that, just click on the hardware tab and then scroll down to the hardware sets to see the listing. And for each of the items that is included in the set, you can click on the link and it'll take you straight to the piece so you know you're ordering the right piece. So that is hardware. Hardware also includes magnets. And forgot to grab a magnet set, but I have a little example here. So we use really super strong sew-in magnets. They have a really slim profile, and they're great for adding an invisible closure to your project. We normally use them on flaps, so that's what we did on this little bowl me over bag. So there's a magnet here, and it closes your flap really nicely and easily. When you purchase the magnets, they come packaged in a set of 2, and each set includes a positive and a negative piece to make a complete snap set. On the magnet product page, you're going to find a lot of tips for using them, including some video tutorials, so be sure to check that out if you have questions about using our sew-in magnets. All right, next on the list is fold-over elastic. And that will be there if your pattern requires it. So we like to use fold-over elastic to bind the top of pockets, both mesh and fabric. So on this pattern, we used it to bind the fabric pocket there, and then on the inside, oh, I've got this all full of stuff, and actually there's not one there. We've got one here where we've used the fold-over on the tools of the trade to bind our little dividers. So what's great about using fold-over elastic for binding is it's an easy one-step process. And if you do it like you did here, if you stretch the elastic a little bit as you sew, you can really quickly and easily make a gathered pocket. So it's one step and you're done. We also used fold over elastic for handy little tool holders on this running with scissors case. And as you can see, we use them to hold spools of thread, chalk markers, even sewing machine feet, lots of things you can put in there. We also used fold over elastic for ties on our face mask pattern, and the stretchiness of them makes them really comfortable and also ensures that you've got a nice tight fit. Like our lightweight mesh, fold over elastic comes in 14 fun colors. It's 20 millimeters wide, and it comes packaged in a 2-yard package or on a 50-yard roll. And to get tips for using it, be sure to check out its product page at ByAnnie.com. All right. The next thing you're going to see on the supply list, we're getting down towards the bottom, are all the little miscellaneous supplies that you might need for a project. So things like elastic, like we used in this little loop to close this needle case. Hook and loop tape, which you might know better as Velcro, which we use to close bags and straps. Or base stabilizers. Base stabilizers are used in the bottom of our bags to give them a sturdy bottom, and we will carry pre-cut acrylic base stabilizers in a number of sizes, and if we do carry one, the pattern will list the SKU for that product. If we don't carry it, as like for tools of the trade, then the pattern will tell you what size you need, and it will suggest that you cut it out of foam board or a corrugated plastic like this, such as Plascolite. So that will be listed on the pattern as well. Finally, the last item that you're going to find on the supply list will be thread. Generally, the stitching is going to be visible on the main fabric, the lining and coordinating fabrics, on the zipper tape, the mesh, the fold-over elastic. So we really suggest that you gather threads to coordinate with all of those. Note that we do not carry any thread at ByAnnie.com, but we use and recommend Superior Threads Sewfine number 50. It's a 50-weight polyester thread. It comes in 134 colors. It's strong and sturdy, and it has just a slight amount of stretch. So we use it for quilting, for assembly, for binding, really basically the entire project. And to make it really easy for you to coordinate thread with our products, we prepared a thread color chart for you. And you can find the chart in the frequently asked questions section of our website. Just click on that and then scroll down to the section that says needles, thread, stitch length, and seam allowances. Once you get there, click on the drop-down menu. Oh, Jake says I need to slow down. It's taking him a minute to get there. So go to frequently asked questions. Our website's a little slow right now. All right, then go down to the part that says needles, thread, stitch length, and seam allowances. And there you're going to see one that says what color of thread matches your products. And when you open that, you're going to see a chart that shows all the colors of Sewfine 50, also all the Aurifil threads that coordinate best with all 48 colors of our zippers. So that might be really helpful. The other thing to note about that is the 14 most popular colors of zippers, along with their related colors of lightweight mesh fabric and fold-over elastic, have a little star next to them. So those would be good colors to kind of have in your general thread stash. So I hope this information has helped you understand the supplies that are used in ByAnnie projects and given you a better understanding of how our supply list works. If you have any questions, please list them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. And remember, ask at your local quilt shop for any of these supplies. If they don't have them, they can certainly get them, either from us or their favorite distributor. And of course, if you don't have a local quilt shop, you can also find everything at ByAnnie.com. So, Brooke has posted some questions for me. What does zip 2430 or zip yard mean? So all of those are the SKUs for our zippers. So where did I set all those zippers? So on the back, you're going to see a little barcode. You're also going to see the zip zipper skew. So zip 30 is a 30-inch zipper. Zip 24 is a 24-inch zipper. Zip YD is zippers by the yard. And so that's kind of just the thing. And then, so they'll all start with that number, and then following that, you'll have a 3-digit number, which is the color code. So for instance, 190 is the color for dandelion. 212 is the color for turquoise. If you're watching, or if you're at our looking at the supply list and you want to easily find the zippers, you can type in the SKU and it will take you straight to that, much quicker and easier than typing in the whole product name. Does quilting a bag made with Soft and Stable help the bag hold its shape better than not quilting a bag made with Soft and Stable? I don't think that quilting makes a huge difference. I can tell you that the more you sew through Soft and Stable, the more it compresses. So I have found that bags that have really tight close stitching probably don't have the same sturdiness as a bag that has stitching a little bit further apart. I think that some quilting is nice. I mean, you need to do some lines through it, especially if it's a big piece, just to get it to have some structure. But I don't think that the stability is going to be a lot different depending on whether it's quilted or not. Can we get a close-up of the vinyl mesh? Is it stretchy? No, it is not stretchy. And if I can find it, you certainly can. What did I do with that piece? Oh, here it is, right here in front of me. So Jake,
right where those zippers are.
Right where those zippers are? Okay. So yeah, it's not stretchy at all. And it's got a lot of bulk to it. It kind of looks like a piece of needlepoint canvas or something, but it's got a plasticky vinyl covering over the mesh. So what is the difference between the vinyl mesh and the lightweight mesh? Big differences. So I can bring this up and this will show it. So this bar right here where I've put my earrings is made out of the vinyl mesh. You can see it has no stretch. It's really got a lot of stability, and it has close holes together. These pockets are made with our lightweight mesh, and they've got a lot more stretch, much bigger holes, a lot less bulk. So really great for when you want to use pockets that expand, but that you can see. You've got a lot more visibility with the regular mesh than with the vinyl mesh. How well does Soft and Stable wash? Really, 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 really well. Soft and Stable, you can throw a piece of it all by itself in the washer and dryer. It's going to come out looking just like it looked before. If you want to wash a bag, I wash my bags all the time. I throw them in the washer. I usually take off the straps and put them in a little mesh bag so that they're not getting tangled up with everything. I don't always put them in the dryer because I don't like to hear the hardware banging against the sides, so usually I air dry them. But if I'm doing something small like placemats, I throw them in the dryer and it washes beautifully. All right, next question was, if you buy a pattern with an add-on video and a store, can you still watch the add-on video? Absolutely. We love selling our patterns through stores, and it doesn't matter where you buy it, the add-on video still works. So when you buy a ByAnnie pattern that includes an add-on video, and you'll know if it does because on the cover there will be a little button that says pattern includes a coupon to get the add-on video free. So in the pattern, you get a coupon that lets you get the add-on video at no charge. So it doesn't matter whether we ship it to you or you buy it in a store, it's going to have that coupon in there, and then you just go to our website to enter the code and get it. So we do recommend that if you are buying a pattern, you wait until the pattern gets to you so that you have that coupon code on hand. Then go order the video and use the coupon code so you don't have to pay the $5 for that video. All right, another vinyl mesh question. Is there anything special you need to do to sew vinyl mesh? No. I just sew it as if it was a piece of vinyl or if it was a piece of mesh. Just regular needle, sew fine thread. It sews really easily. So All right. Looks like that's all the questions. If you have any more, post them. I always read the comments afterwards, and I'll do my best to answer them or answer them when next we meet. Let's move on now to a few announcements. This is March already, and March is a really important month for those of us who are in the quilting and sewing industry, as it has been designated as National Quilting Month. So it's a time for quilters and sewists to celebrate their dedication to the craft they love so much. And to help us all celebrate, our friends at Shannon Fabrics have coordinated a really awesome giveaway, and this year's it's bigger than ever. So this year there are 3 grand prizes with a combined value worth over $4,500. The giveaway runs from March 1st to the 31st, and it's open to makers in the continental U.S. So we're going to put up the link so that you can find all the details. Be sure and check it out because you're not going to want to miss it. All right, we're going to move on now to an update on our local quilt shop contest. Our 2022 contest is officially over, and we really want to thank all of the shops who competed and all of the wonderful customers who voted. Total vote count this year was 39,307 votes for 1,917 stores in 14 countries. And that is compared to 17,809 votes for 1,385 stores last year, so more than double the number of votes this year. We will be contacting winners soon, and we will make an announcement of the winners next Wednesday, March 9th, right here on Live with Annie. Our sponsors are really excited to hand out the prizes, and we can't wait to tell you about the wonderful events that the winners have scheduled. So please be sure to RSVP and mark your calendar for the live. We thought it would be fun today to recognize 3 stores who aren't in the running for a final prize, but who received wonderful, heartfelt comments from their customers. And as we've said all along, whether your store got 1 vote or 1,000 votes, you are all winners in our eyes. So we're going to start today in Martinez, which is near Augusta, Georgia, at the Country Barn Quilt Company. It's a one-stop shop for all things quilting, machine embroidery, and wool applique. Elizabeth Patterson opened the shop in August 2019 to fill a need in the local area. And as her partner Julie told me, one of their most important goals in opening the store was to create a place to gather and create a community. She said from the very first day the classroom has been an open classroom. As long as there isn't a class scheduled, anyone is welcome to come in, sit, sew, chat, have a cup of coffee or tea and chocolate, and just get away from the world for a few minutes. Elizabeth and Julie hold 2 noteworthy parties each year: a birthday party on the first Saturday in August and a holiday open house on the Saturday before Thanksgiving. The store is also proud to be an official sponsor of Project Linus, and it serves as a drop-off pickup location for makers. Last year, the local chapter made more than 5,600 blankets for kids in the area who need a cuddle due to their life circumstances. Their goal is to make sure any child who wants a blanket has one. Customers raved about the friendliness and support they receive at Country Barn Quilts. Brenda said, "They are always holding classes, have fantastic fabrics, and they know you by name. They are always supportive, encouraging, and helpful with any quilting problem you might run into." And Kathy said, "The friendly staff is incredible. It's like Cheers every time a customer walks in the door. You feel welcomed and part of a warm, fun community." And Leilani said, "The friendly atmosphere is amazing. I drive 2.5 hours just to shop and see Elizabeth and Julie. It's nice to have a quilt shop that has what I'm looking for and more." Quick drink. Next, we're going to travel to Liberty, Indiana to visit Polar Fabrics. Opened in 1987 by Rose and Kenny Polar, the store houses more than 7,000 square feet of sewing and quilting products, including over 7,000 bolts of fabric. They also carry the original pattern designs of both Rose and her daughter Megan Poehler McGuire, who made her first quilt at the age of 9 and who now manages the shop, bringing a younger generation's perspective and adding life to the shop. Megan does a Facebook Live the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month, during which she features new items in the store and new samples as well as some sale items. Lynn wrote, "The store carries a wide variety of inventory, which makes my 2-hour drive one way worthwhile to me. If I have any questions while working on a project, all I have to do is call Poehler and they work with me to solve my problem." Connie said, "I have been to many quilt shops while on vacation, and every time I have come to the realization that I have the best quilt shop in my own backyard." And Kathy shared, "They have a lot of great fabrics, including designers' whole lines. Plus, they put kits together that makes it easy to know you have everything. My husband was the one who found them. He came home and told me about it. Now I'm not sure if he is still happy with himself." I can imagine he's wondered that himself. All right, finally we're going to head north to Smith Owen Sewing in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This family-owned and operated business has been in operation since 1950. That's before I was born. They attribute their success to their philosophy of handling each customer with care, honesty, and fairness. Originally, Smith Owen began as a manufacturer of sewing cabinets, and today they are one of the top Husqvarna Viking and Pfaff sewing machine dealers in the USA. In addition to sewing machine sales and service, Smith Owen carries a large selection of high-quality cotton fabrics, notions and quilting supplies, and offers a variety of sewing and quilting classes taught by highly experienced instructors in a friendly, no-pressure atmosphere. Over and over, customers raved about the friendly and helpful staff, as well as the fabulous selection of products. Kay appreciated that she is always welcomed in the store with sincere joy. And she says the machine maintenance staff is superb. Laura noted, "This has been our quilt shop for generations." And Marcy followed that with, "They are great people that will guarantee that the next generation learns and loves this art and craft." Gail wrote, "They have classes to fit everyone's needs and abilities and have been able to answer any question I have ever had. I drive out of my way to come to this store." And we're going to close with some good advice from Monica, who said, "Having a bad day? Go to their shop." That is really great advice, and I agree. There's nothing like a quilt shop to lift the spirits and make it a great day. Each of the stores we featured this week is going to receive a precious little playmat kit handpicked for them by Ellen at Shannon Fabrics. Shannon's mission is to make the world a softer place, and their awesome Cuddle and Other Plush fabrics do just that. So these awesome kits make cozy, soft playmats for little ones, and they come in 3 styles: a lamb, a giraffe, or a penguin. The kits include all the cuddle fabrics needed for both the top and the backing, as well as a free pattern with instructions to make sewing a breeze. The mats measure about 27 by 35 inches, and little ones are sure to love them. So congratulations to Country Barn Quilt Company, Poehler, and Smith Owen Sewing and Quilting. Ellen's going to be reaching out to you, and we know you will enjoy those awesome little playmats. All right. I'm going to clear my table off here. And we are going to talk about another giveaway. So to thank everyone for joining us this week, we have a really fun giveaway and something we haven't done yet. So one lucky viewer is going to receive one of our sets of 12 24-inch zippers, and we have these available in 4 different sets. So this is our lights set. We also have a brights set, which is probably my favorite. Lots of bright, beautiful colors. Then we have a set called darks. And finally a set called neutrals. So basically what we did is we took the 48 colors of ByAnnie zippers, separated them into 4 sets of 12. And so we have lights, brights, darks, and neutrals. So again, each set includes 12 single slide 24-inch handbag zippers. These are perfect for pockets, openings on bag, and more. They're just a really great way to build your zipper stash. So you can let us know which set you prefer when we reach out to let you know that you've won. And if you need to see what colors are in any of those, just go to the Zippers Sets product page on our website and it will list the colors that are included in each. So here's what you need to do if you want to win these. And remember, you need to do this on Facebook. It doesn't work on YouTube. So the first thing is leave us a comment. And that can be whatever you want. Tell us what your favorite color of handbag zipper is. When you buy zippers, do you buy the size that you need, or do you make your own using zippers by the yard? Do you usually match your zipper mesh and fold over elastic colors, or do you like to mix things up? Tell us what your favorite features of Soft and Stable are and what color you use most, white or black. Or when it comes to hardware, are you team antique brass, team nickel, or team black? Any comments are going to be good. If you have any questions about the supply list, put those in there. And finally, we always like learning about your ideas for new patterns or other tips you can share. The second thing that we want you to do is tag a friend. We really want to spread the word about our weekly Facebook Lives, so please share this with someone who you think would enjoy them. And to tag someone, you just type the @ symbol, followed by the name they use on Facebook. Their name and picture will pop up so you can make sure you've got the right person. If you do, click on that, type in your comment, and submit it. We are going to pick winners from comments that are made by midnight Mountain Time tonight, so you have a little over 9 more hours to watch and comment. And finally, remember to check your Facebook messages. We're going to notify our winner and ask you to email us your shipping address. And again, you can let us know then which set of zippers you prefer, lights, brights, darks, or neutrals. So thank you again to everyone who joined us today. We are going to be back next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time with another great episode of Live with Annie, in which we will be announcing the winners of our 2022 local quilt shop contest. So be sure to join us then. We can't wait to see you and tell you about all the winners. And until then, happy stitching.